Okay, y'all, this is man, I'm having fun this week. I'm getting to interview all of the people that I've been fans of, sitting down and just having good old conversations with people I've looked up to, listened to their music, seen them, read about them, heard about them for so many years. And today I got another one. Please welcome singer extraordinaire, songwriter extraordinaire, actress, and dare I say rapper. A lot of people forgot about that.
Okay.
There you go, girl. Please welcome to VladTV, one of my favorites, Angie Stone. What up, Angie?
What up? So
How you,
glad to
girl?
be here.
Oh, man, Angie, you looking good. You got that big old smile on your face.
Look,
the
baby.
diva glasses. Go ahead, girl.
You got to be glad. You can't be sad. You know, life's too short to spend it moping. So I'm here in the moment. I'm enjoying myself. Thank you for doing this. This is amazing. We're going to have some fun.
Nah, we're going to have some fun. You know, I love sitting down with folks like yourself. I told you offline I had a chance to sit down with Stephanie Mills last week. And she said something that to me was so profound and it put such a big smile on my heart. She said, Shawn, I only do things at this point in my career and I only walk indoors where I am celebrated and not tolerated.
Awesome.
And I know you got to feel the same way.
Absolutely. These are the moments that we survived for. You know, when you put in 40 plus years in the game and you've sacrificed so much of your joy, your childhood years with your children and, you know, doing all of this to grind to get to the top. When you get to this place, you're like, okay, I made it through motherhood. I made it through life. Now it's time for me to have fun. So where I am right now, I don't fool with people. And I don't care what people think or say about me. I don't care about none of that because I have paid my dues.
Yes, you have. You have paid your dues and then some.
Okay.
You have been a trailblazer. You done took out that shovel and,
Yes.
and where most people was going right or left, you took out that shovel and you dug a path of your own.
Yes.
Yes, you have paid your dues. Okay, speaking of paying dues, like I said, a lot of people, and me being from the South Bronx, New York.
Come on with it.
You know, for me, a lot of people don't know we celebrating 50 years of hip hop.
Hip hop.
Can
I just kiss you for that one? Let me just say this. I ain't going to give you a chance to talk about it because this is the moment I've been waiting for. We have lived and loved everything about the Bronx, everything about hip hop and the culture of hip hop. But we have forgotten the one element that opened the doors for females everywhere. My group, The Sequence, Angie B, Blondie, and Cheryl the Pearl. We were trailblazers. Back in 79, when everybody was in the parks, we was on the road with the Gap Band, Confunction, Parliament Funkadelic. We were out there because there were no hip-hoppers on the road, but we had a song called Funk You Up. Dr. Dre did it called Keep Your Heads Ringing. Erica did it with Love of My Life. Bruno Mars did it with Uptown Funk. Well, that is the derivative of the song we wrote, which is the first original rap record by a female group. And we were from the South. And it doesn't mean that we are first, second, third. It means that from the South, we laid the blueprint for hip hop, rapping, and singing. Lauryn Hill came and tipped the scales and did what we did and took it to the next level. That's all I'm saying. And they never, ever give us our props. Y'all need to stop that.
Talk that talk, Angie. I'm
Y'all need to stop that.
Like, gang, talk your talk, girl.
I got to make it clear, babe, because you know what? We sit back, we swallow nails because we're not from the Bronx. We've never discredited anything that anybody else has done. But guess what? There wouldn't be no singing. When we did Funk You Right On Up, there wasn't singing in hip hop. I personally asked Miss Robinson, can I sing? Because I wanted to one day graduate to being a singer. And voila, Angie Stone was born. So it worked itself out. And that's not to discredit any of the first. Queen Latifah, Sha Rock, MC Light, Salt, all those are trailblazers that took it to the next level. Shout out to Missy Elliott. But y'all cannot keep doing these platforms and do not remember we set the tone. We made a thing. You remember Cashbox? There used to be a thing in Billboard called Cashbox. We were the first group to make Cashbox with a 12-inch record. Nobody else had done it. But
wow.
Hey, I'm just saying.
And tell them, remember me now? Like,
Okay.
Let them know. Do you remember me now?
Do you remember me now? Go pull the archive. No, I'm not B, Angie B. Let me just tell you about that. She had to put the B in front of her name because Angie B, which was me, was so hot back then. Hammer put a group together, and she wanted to be Angie B too. So we said, we own the right to the name, so she had to put the B in front of her name to make it different. So B Angie B was, so y'all don't call me B Angie B. I am the original Angie B.
You know what's so dope about what you're saying? Because everybody knows you as this soulful songstress.
Yes.
Everybody knows you for all of these beautiful songs you've made over the years. But this hip hop thing is still in your heart. And when you speak, I can hear the passion coming straight from your soul.
Yes. Yes. And if you must know, the only reason the birth of the soul thing came about and the hip hop thing was silent, because at the time when I went to Arista Records, I pretty much had a gag order because Clive Davis did not want to age me. So I was banned from talking about hip hop. So people say, oh, well, why'd you leave it, girls? Why'd you just? I didn't. I had to keep my mouth shut because I was a young woman that was trying to do soul music, and they didn't want to date me because time was, moving on. I was getting older, and they wanted to sell records. And so that's how the silence, I call it when the silence is so loud. That was what you call it. Mm-hmm.
It's amazing how behind the curtain, behind the scenes, people don't realize so much of what we see in the public eye.
Yes.
There are people who are behind the scenes who are pulling the string. You said you had a gag order, and I'm
Pretty
sure
much.
you're not speaking literally, but we
don't mention it. Don't say anything. Be quiet about it. We don't want nobody to know that you're 25 and over. So at that point, it was shut up or get out.
It's done
if
all
you must
the
know,
time.
If you must know, and I know you didn't know this, the Sugar Hill Gangs, Eighth Wonder, Apache, Sequence wrote those songs. Okay?
Are you serious?
We wrote those songs, and we were also the voices up until they got some singers. We did West Street Mob. So there was a lot of sweeping under the rug. They can't tell me hip-hop is not in our fabric because we wrote those songs for the Sugar Hill Gang, and we were the little country bumpkins that they never wanted to talk about. So when you hear, let's dance, I know you got the feet, but let's dance. Come on, get down. That's us.
Wow.
Okay.
I did not know that all these years.
I know you did. I got to keep it 100. Cheryl the Pearl was back there pushing a pencil at Sugar Hill, and everybody got work, but we were writing the hit songs for the Sugar Hill Gang. And then we did Rapper's Reprise, which was a hip-hop record with the Sugar Hill Gang that we never got credit for, but we wrote it.
Do you still keep in touch with your girls from the group?
All the time.
Still
every
to
day.
this day?
I talk to Blondie every day. I don't talk to Cheryl as much, but we look, when you need us to be, we gonna be.
Oh, that's so beautiful. That's beautiful. Okay, so, and I'm assuming you're the only one from the group who kept going with your music career. Why did they stop?
Well, it wasn't that they stopped. I was groomed by, the band members. Craig Derry, good friend of mine, a vocal coach, told me, he said, you need to get in New York because you got this it factor. Get in there, find out about the BMI stuff. I grew up learning and hungry for the industry. When I began to realize there's more to it than this, I left Jersey. I left the group because I thought we deserved a better deal. And then when I went to Sylvia Robinson to say, hey, this is what I want, because I don't want, I want to be able to pay my rent when we're not touring. I want to be able to do this. I want to be able to do that. Guess what? She was going to do it, but then it caused friction with the group because she was only going to do it for one. I walked away from the group and I decided, let me go on out here and do solo. It wasn't that I didn't love my group. It was just that I wanted better for myself. And I was the youngest. So when I walked away, walking away saying, either I'm going to make it, I'm going to sink, or I'm going to sail. And I ended up sailing. I was a songwriter, and I started growing from that aspect. And as time would have it, it proved me right. I ended up joining Lenny Kravitz for a tour. Of course, I've worked with the likes of Prince and so many other artists. And I'm just grateful that I followed my heart. The passion was, I'm a lion, and I'm going to roar.
I love that. I love it. You said you followed your heart.
Yes.
What is your first love? Is it songwriting? Is it rapping? Or is it singing?
My first love, believe it or not, is acting.
Oh.
But I made it, me and Jamie Foxx are like freaking frack. His first love was singing, but he made it as an actor. My first love was acting, but I made it as a singer. But if I had my way, I could say that writing was my first love because I loved writing poetry. And as it stands, I'm working on a poetry book. Blondie is also working on a book. There's a lot going on because there's more to meet the eye than just hip hop or soul music,
You spoke, and you mentioned this earlier in passing, how so many of these huge records, the Dr. Dre, Keep Your Head Ringing, Bruno Mars, he had Record of the Year.
Yes, everywhere.
With Uptown Funk. Did you guys ever?
We were the only ones that didn't get paid.
Are you to this day?
To this day. Everybody made a claim on that song for little or nothing, but we had the most obvious parts of the song. Even that Uptown Funk.
Yes.
Those lyrics, it just blew me away. Once again, it shows, and I can be honest, it helps if everybody supports you, but it looks kind of crazy when your own record label doesn't mention you're the first female rap group that they have over there. When your label mates don't say, yeah, Sequence was crazy, they was good. When, they wrote these songs. When you don't have the support of your peers, people overlook you because you're being overlooked. And it hurts us more because we didn't have the support. But when it was time for us to, be there, be the party track, be the ones in the background singing behind Grandmaster Fad and Furious 5, be the ones putting the vocals down for whoever. We were there, front and center, always. But now in the ninth hour, it's like we ain't giving them no props because they not from New York.
It's so interesting because, I'm listening to you and you saying y'all the only ones who didn't get paid off of that record.
We didn't.
Uptown Funk, it is obvious. It's not even, there are literally parts of that song.
Yes.
That came directly from parts of your song. Sung the same exact way.
Bruno Mars put it in one article. We couldn't find it when we went back to look for it, but he said it was inspired by the sequence.
It has to be. Everybody knows Mark Ronson worked with Bruno on that album. Mark Ronson is a New York DJ, and he is definitely a historian of hip hop.
Yes.
So I know he was inspired. If it wasn't Bruno, it was definitely Mark.
Mark, yes. And when we started to pursue it, it was like, hush, hurry up, don't say anything. I think they started looking for the intellectual properties and who owns this. And of course, the entire, with the exception of one of the Robinsons, everybody had died. A lot of the stuff got burnt up in the building, but people knew that was us. They knew it was ours. And instead of them saying, you know what, these young ladies have been around since 50 years ago. Let's make sure we take care of them. A hush fell over Jerusalem.
Wow.
And so it's sad to see.
Please tell me you got a little something from, another big record. We just mentioned Dr. Dre. This guy's a billionaire. Keep Your Head Ringing. The whole world was had their head ringing to that record. Please tell me y'all got something from that.
No, actually, when we did it, they did. Okay, mind you, we owned 93% of the record because Sylvia always took credit. I'm sorry, 33 1/3 each of the record. By the time Dr. Dre did Keep Your Heads Ringing, we had been reduced to 12% of the record. And that was because he started dealing with Sugar Hill. And of course, they just tried to do what they wanted to do. So we did get a little something, but it's not enough to sneeze at. And it's just sad because they have basically taken advantage of us. They've not acknowledged us. They did Ode to Hip Hop a couple of years ago where they had all the females come to California. So, of course, I called up the people who was in charge and like, how are you guys going to do this? And Sequence not there. I'll tell you the most humiliating thing that they did. They waited until the day before the show to try to throw something together and bring us out there. When we got out there, they had all of the first female hip hoppers walk down one red carpet, and they had a separate red carpet for us. That's when we walked in, the first thing that the young man asked us, how does it feel not to be included in this? Because they're trying to go with the younger audience. I said, but there would be no younger audience if you didn't have your OGs. We started it. So it really was a slap in the face. Then they sat us in the nosebleeds. I walked out. I was in tears because I'm like, how can you even feel good about this? Everybody and their mama was on stage giving their props. And we were sitting in the nosebleeds like, okay, we got you out here, so be satisfied. I told Blind and Cheryl, let's go. It really, really, if you're going to do something, do it right. Mm-hmm. And so I won't call the names, but I just think for the culture, so to speak, you can't overlook the fact that, 10 years prior to MC Lyte, Queen Latifah, all these people coming out, you had a group like Sequence that set the tone. Wow. So I love them all dearly. Trust me, I don't charge it to them, but I have to shout out Missy Elliott. She got her star on Hollywood, and she made sure to mention us, and I thought that was big, very big of her. Thank you.
Oh, that's so classy.
Yes.
She did?
Yes, she did.
How classy of Missy Elliott is that?
Yes, she did. So my hats off to
before
her.
I move this interview forward, staying around that Sugar Hill time of your life.
Yes.
You get pregnant.
Yes.
Your first, you got 2 children, correct?
I do.
Your first child was by another label mate, Lil Rodney C.
From the Funky Four, plus one more.
There you go.
Yeah.
Did y'all hit it off right away?
Yes, we did right away. Rodney was a very compassionate person. He was a Leo and I was Sag. And I got something stuck in my eye. And he took the time to make the bus stop, take me to the hospital. Come to find out, it was very serious. And it made me humble myself to him. But he was always trying to teach and show us the right things to do. And I was just attracted to that energy. And we ended up getting together. We got married for a short stint and had a daughter. And as time would have it, life happened. And that didn't last. I was only 22 at the time. And I think I was a bit young to do it, but I did it nonetheless because I was a country girl and I didn't think you should be pregnant and not married. So that was the reason for the marriage. But, as I grew older, I realized that was the wrong reason to get married. But at the same time, I learned a great deal about the business from Lil Rodney C.
So you would say he was one of the people who actually, because a lot of artists, they focus on just that, the art. That is their sole focus.
He taught me a lot.
So he was the one who got you thinking about the business, because people they don't realize it's called the music business.
Yes.
The business is 90% of the game.
Let me tell you
music
something.
is 10.
Rodney was so ahead of his time. He was labeled the blackball of the group because of it. He taught me promotion, a lot of the shows. I mean, when we did the Roxy, we were the first ones to take hip hop down to the Roxy. Everybody was uptown. We rented out the Roxy and did a big show down there. I was spending money and he was spending money. We were pulling the shows together, and that was the birth of the Roxy. And so as time would have it, we don't even get the credit for bringing hip hop downtown. You had Danceteria where Madonna used to serve us drinks, but then you had the Roxy where we've taken it from the Bronx downtown. All the people that got hired, Dr. Dre and Andre Harrell, and all of them had been hired on our show. And, I was learning from the ground up. So I was taught by one of hip hop's ambassadors, what we used to call Rodney is the ambassador of rap.
See, people don't realize just how much history you have in this game. We started this conversation earlier saying you got 40 years in this game, and this is a real 40 years.
Oh, yeah.
Of you doing it at a high level. I mean, you mentioned people like Andre Harrell.
Yeah.
You mentioned, bringing hip hop downtown to the Roxy, and
Yes.
Going on over to Danceteria when Madonna,
Yes.
Madonna
was
still
a
serving
waitress.
drinks.
She was a waitress.
Wow.
And it was just crazy because to watch all of that, you had the Bronx, you had T-Connection, you had all those things and places where the neighborhood kids used to rock, but I was interested in learning. I was on the set of Wild Style, learning how to shoot film. By the time Beat Street came, I was there in the hallway with LL Cool J sitting on a mailbox waiting to audition where he got the role for the movie. So it goes way back.
Wow. Okay. You spoke about Lil Rodney C.
Yes.
But you got another high profile baby daddy, if you will.
Yes.
Mr. D'Angelo. How'd that relate? How did you two even link?
Well, D'Angelo and I got connected by way of Jocelyn Cooper, who was signing us both as songwriters. When I was in the studio with Vertical Hole at the time, when D'Angelo came into the studio. But I have you to know that, and I'm going to have everybody know because I want to set the record straight, he pursued me. I did not pursue him. I thought he was older than what he was because he had an old soul. And anybody that's hanging around him long enough will attest to that is the truth. I mean, we just hit it off musically because we were both from the South. And I think it was something familiar about our energy that clicked. And once we became friends, he decided, I'm going to stay in New York. At one point, he was going to move back to Virginia. But he says, I'm going to stay in New York, you know what I mean? Because now I got somebody around who I can relate to. And it just happened to be me. At the time, we were just the best of friends. As time grew, we ended up falling for each other. All I can tell you is shit happens. And when it happened, I was okay with it because I loved his energy and his spirit. Over time, I can tell you honestly that I have been disappointed. I have been let down. I have watched the world basically spin on its axle and turn its back on me because of D'Angelo, because their love and desire was so great for him that they were able to spit on me pretty much. And so I had to take it with a grain of salt and keep moving. Because when people zoom in on you to bring about their pain. They don't care how they hurt you to get it done. But like I said, it happened. And I can't go back. I can't undo it. I told the people, they make such a big deal. Okay, I was a little older than him, but that's going every day. People get with people every day that's a little older than them, and they keep it moving. Why did they make a big deal out of he and I? I couldn't tell you. I can only say the minute he decided to become a sex symbol, or the industry cultivated a sex symbol, I became dog meat to them. And that was, 4 years prior to that, we were the best of friends. But after that, it was just like, oh, she too old for him. She does. I wasn't old when I was trying to help him get through the studio work. I wasn't old when I was trying to get them albums finished. I wasn't old when I was writing them hits with them. I wasn't none of that. It was only after he had arrived. It's like, okay, let's get rid of her. She's dead weight now. And that's what I literally believe has happened in time. But guess what? The love of Christ have kept me all this time. And I don't care what they say and do. It is what it is.
That's right. That is right, Angie. You know, it's crazy because I didn't realize that through your vantage point, through your lens, you felt like the industry turned on you for having that relationship.
Oh, yeah.
Really?
Oh, yeah. Let me tell you something. And I won't, yes, I will. Let me tell you something. I can remember going to sit down and do an interview with Vibe magazine. And I had the young lady who was interviewing me look at me, and she went in on me being older than him. But right after that, she let me know she was, kicking it with him too. And it was basically a hateful, jealous interview that like, okay, you might have him, but I want you to know, he's all over me too. And I ran into a lot of people, a lot of females that worked for these labels and industries that kind of threw me under the bus, because if their job was to interview Angie Stone, in my opinion, their job was to basically do a bum job of my interview so that they could really poke at me. And I had to deal with that. I know.
Yeah, okay, I didn't. Let me, and just for our audience sake.
Yes.
When you and D'Angelo got together, he was not a star.
He wasn't a star.
The world didn't know him.
No.
When you met, became friends, and fell in love with this man, you was there before Brown Sugar.
Right.
You was there when nobody was paying attention to him, correct?
Correct. Well, he had the publisher, Jocelyn Cooper and Gary Hess, God rest his soul, they saw his talent, but they could not hone in on his talent because in their mind, he wasn't consistent. So the thing was, let us hook him up with Angie because she's good at this stuff. So when they hooked us up, it was to hook us up to write and to work and for me to help develop, with him, his craft, and to write with him. So the world didn't know him. He had weight on him at the time. A lot of people see him all cut up, and it's just like, look at this fine, gorgeous man. No, he wasn't all of that. When I met him, he was overweight. He was hiding behind clothes. He was doing his thing, but I never judged him for what he looks like. I was working with what I thought was a great artist. And so I didn't judge him for that stuff. So when I got with him, they just like, Angie, get him to work. So we got in the studio and we worked. The more we worked, the better we got. Mm-hmm. And so once they were trying to finish the Brown Sugar album, they couldn't get him to finish the album. We stayed in there to Christmas Day in the studio. I toppled my whole Christmas to stay in there with him to get that album finished because I was a no-nonsense producer. And he produced his own music, but I was that entity that says, no, we got to get this done. And so we got it done. And as a result, Christmas Day, the album was finished. Everybody was so happy, like, oh my God, he finished the album finally. And we left and went out of town after that for Christmas. But at that time, I began to be credited for helping him finish the album. That would be a thing that one day would hurt me more than anything, because after I began to get the accolades for helping him to get it done, something he couldn't get finished, after I began to get the accolades, it turned into a love-hate relationship. I could have did this without her. It became angry. And then I think all the necessary powers that be that wanted to push up on that, they pretty much kind of fed that to the public. So it made it look like, oh, she's doing it. I didn't have to do it. My proof was in my work ethic. And at the end of the day, they started saying, she around here telling everybody she did it. No. You got to remember, people that hired me to work with you, all those people were running their mouths and saying stuff like, he not going to get nothing done unless Angie in the studio. So enough people said enough of that the industry started to look at, oh, she's doing this. I didn't have to. I had a record on the chart that was in top 20 already, so I didn't have to prove myself. Vertical Hole had Seems You're Much Too Busy out, and I pretty much toppled everything to stay there and work with him, just because I enjoyed the work. I wasn't looking for credit. I wasn't looking for credit, but guess what? Shit happens.
There you go. I guess I didn't realize earlier in the conversation that it wasn't just external, meaning the media and the publicists. You said that he himself started to, I could have did this on my own.
Exactly.
I didn't realize it was coming from the inside as well.
Let me tell you something, and I'm being 100. He would be a lot further ahead today. I'm not discrediting him, please. Don't misunderstand me. But because of the powers that be, everybody and their mama wish Angie and Stone and D'Angelo would get back together and work again. I've heard it a million times.
Yes.
They need to do this. His pride as a man would not allow him to do that because he doesn't want to share the credit. He doesn't want it to look like, what if I get with her and we win? Then it's going to look like she did it. I mean, the writing's on the wall. But hey, if you want to roll like that, I ain't mad at you. But that's not my spirit. My spirit is we got a winning element. God gave us that. You didn't give me that. God gave us that. And what you should do, if nothing else, is to put your differences aside. You have children. And say, let's get in the studio and work on our God-given craft. But his pride will not allow him to go there. It's sad. But the industry created that energy, and because they created it, they have to now suffer and wait for the kind of music that we created. It will never happen because the we factor is not there.
Yeah, I mean, it's just something special when people have a chemistry.
There you go.
And you see it all the time. Snoop and Dre.
Yes.
There are just people who, when they get together, it's magic.
There you go.
It really, really is.
There you go.
And you guys had it. And, I see it all the time. Artists, they go out and they want to prove that it was me and I.
Yes.
And the one that I'm the one in front of the microphone.
Right.
It's me. And they tried other producers, they tried other songwriters, and that magic just never, ever happens again.
There
and it's
you go.
so sad to sit here and hear you talk that is the reason pride is the reason that we as fans won't get that magic.
But what did they say? Pride before the what?
Before the fall.
There you go. And so it's
Before the
sad.
fall.
It saddens me because I can honestly tell you, I don't care how I'm made to feel about it, there is probably not too many men that I know of as talented as he is. But the process has to be equivalent to the purpose. And the purpose was, God said, I put this together. But when the world's just stripped it apart, they're trying to get something that they can't find. So now they're trying to, you hear the records that come out. You try to accept it and try to place it in it. Okay, this is that great. When in hindsight, you already know, this ain't that one. And the sad part is we want it so bad that we accept it. Now, they ain't never got to really love Angie Stone music. They ain't got to do that. Because I'm so comfortable in the skin I'm in, and I don't care if people say I'm not buying her record, I'm not doing this, because I don't live for the record sale. I live for the music and the feeling that people get when they listen to my music.
That's right. That is right. That is right. That's what a pure artist is all about. That right there, that feeling.
Yes.
Okay, so I got to ask you this. I understand from a business standpoint, we probably won't get that magic. But from a personal standpoint, as co-parents,
yes,
how do you guys work together?
It's very difficult because in the sense that both my children are musically talented. My son has both my genes and his dad's genes. He's super talented. However, being under the guise and the umbrella of the industry and their expectations, he wanted to do, he's a rebel like we are. He wanted to do his thing, devoid of mom and dad. And guess what? I have to stand back and stand out of the way because I trust his DNA. And at this point, I really want his father to embrace everything that he does. And I know that he does. But once again, you're dealing with a person that is dealing with their pride. So I think the pride before the fall is actually the thing that I'm still harping on, because I believe that my son is going to be the gift that I call survival for everyone in our family. My daughter is extremely gifted. They both have the writing talent. She can sing her face off. Michael has the gift to play instruments, rap, sing. So it's just a matter of when he decides enough is enough. I think D'Angelo, however, he's got to come around and say, okay, I believe that he knows his son is talented, but where we are in our life, we'll just have to wait on it.
Oh man, that's so, and again, I hate to hear stories like that, because it's one thing on a professional level for things not to work out.
Right.
We also know that, people get together and they share a moment in time, they fall in love, and relationships don't work every day of the week.
Right.
But when it comes to the children,
yes,
it's that hits different.
Oh,
and I was hoping
absolutely.
that you would say, as co-parents, we do so much better than we do as business partners and writing partners.
Every now and again, we try. I can honestly be, if I'm being candid, tough as nails. Tough as nails, because the pride is still the gangster in this. Ooh, I like
Sorry
that.
to hear that, girl.
The pride is the gangster in this, okay?
Wow. Okay, let's go to a more positive note.
Okay.
You and Clive Davis hook up.
Yes.
You get signed to Arista Records. How'd you hook up with Clive Davis?
I actually was overseas. I had done some demos for a young man, Lenny Kravitz's cousin. He took the demos to the UK. Mervyn Lynn and Jed Dougherty wanted to sign him, but because of me. And he said, well, they want you to come over here. I said, I'm not interested in being no group with you. So I said, I'll sign a solo deal with Arista UK. Clive came over there and kicked the doors, and once he found out I was over here all this time, he's like, no. I got to have her over here. So pretty much Clive deboed the situation and brought me back to ours.
Nice. Okay, we all know Clive Davis, legendary record man.
Right.
Arista Records have had some huge acts.
Yes.
They had another big vocalist on that, female vocalist on that record label, Miss Whitney Houston.
My girl.
I was about to ask you, what was your relationship like with Whitney?
Whitney's like, man, we were so cool because, you know, she had a lot of respect for good songs and good singing. But there was something really down home about Whitney. I remember she used to do a Christmas program every year, and, you know, she would invite CC Wine and BB Wine. All of us would go out and give toys away to the kids every year. And this particular year, they called me, I think it was Christmas Eve, and says, listen, nobody showed up. Can you come over? And I just happened to be living in Jersey at the time. So I took my son, who I think Michael was maybe 5 or 6, and we went over there. And I was the only artist there. So I'm like, oh my God, all these kids, I don't know that many Christmas songs. So in my head, I'm going, oh God, what's the song? So I'm singing Jingle Bells. I'm singing songs I grew up on, and I'm giving away toys. And then at the 9th hour, here Bobby Brown walks in, and we're singing a Christmas song. And he says, Whitney loves you, and says, thank you so much. Well, lo and behold, I didn't know where she was, but she couldn't make it. And I got into California maybe a week later, and I had the most beautiful exotic flowers that were waiting for me at my hotel. It was Whitney. She said, that's why I love you so much. You are my girl. And so whenever she had something where she had to pull somebody on stage, there she go, pulling me on stage. Come on, sing with me. So we were really cool because we understood each other. And I just was a huge supporter of hers. I think she was an amazing vocalist, but an even more wonderful person.
Oh, that's beautiful to hear. It really, really is. Did you guys ever get a chance to get in the studio together, write together, or just create?
That was something we were planning on doing. We wanted to try to get together. She always said, Angie, write me a song, you know?
You done wrote a few of those. You done wrote a few hit songs in your day, girl.
Just a couple.
But your debut solo album, Black Diamond, is released. I think it was in 1999, somewhere in there.
Yeah.
We got that big single off it, No More Rain.
Yes.
Where did that record come from? Is it safe to say it came from the breakup of you and your child's father?
No. As a matter of fact, my son, we kind of split, but our son brought us back together. That song derived from my dad. I was a little girl who came from a poor family. I'm an only child. And so every time the ice cream truck used to come through the neighborhood, I would run to my daddy for some money for some ice cream. And my dad would jingle in his pockets and he'd say, ain't no rain in this cloud. That meant he didn't have any money. And so I told him, I said, Daddy, one day I'm going to write a song called Ain't No Rain in This Cloud. And that's what inspired that song. When the birth of my son happened, it sparked the memory. And it had a metaphoric meaning. My sunshine has come. And one was, the Lord has saved my life. And the other one was, I have birthed a son that I know is blessed. That's what helped me to write that song.
Very nice, very nice. Well, that song did very well for you. I mean, to this day, it got something like 12 million plays on Spotify, over 50 million views and plays on YouTube. It was #1 on the adult R&B charts.
Yes.
That song did very, very well for you. And it took the album gold.
Yeah.
So, you did well on that. And then you come back and you dropped your second album.
Mahogany Soul.
You know, that second album,
I know.
Mahogany Soul. You know, even before I say this, but even before, you were at the forefront, if not the birth, of the neo soul movement.
Yes.
What was that? Was that you just writing and penning what came from your heart, or did you see a white space in the world of R&B and say, let me just go in a direction where nobody else is going?
That was truth. What you heard was truth. When I did Mahogany Soul, I had my son. I didn't have a babysitter. The breakup had happened. I took my son in the studio and I let him sleep. I would make a makeshift bed on the fender rows. I stayed in that room, and every song that you hear is from my heart. I sang about love. I sang about hurt. I sang about disappointment. Everything that came from my head, my mouth, it came from my heart. So I can honestly tell you that it was a mixture of blues and gospel that got me through that album.
You know, I can't tell you how I wore that CD out. I wore like I don't think
Yes.
you understand.
I know.
And that I Wish I Didn't Miss You song. That's got to be your biggest record.
That song was written, believe it or not, by Ivan Matias and Andrea Martin, bless her heart. She passed away last year. And she did me the honors of singing that song all the way through with me. So every time I sing that song, I'm thinking of her, because such a talented person. And I can remember people coming up to me, why are you always writing songs about him? I said, I didn't even write the song. You know what I mean? But everybody would hear my songs and they would automatically think she wrote that about him, or she wrote. I'm like, you're wrong. I didn't write the song. If you look at it, my name is nowhere on it. But that's just the nature of people.
Okay, did I hear this right? Was that like not your last song to make it onto that album?
That was my last song, and I did not like it.
You hold on. You did not like. Get out of here.
You know, the saying is, if she don't like it, it's a hit.
Uh-huh.
And I think I was just anxious to get my record out. And when Clive said, Angie, we have another record, we've got to put this record on it. And when I heard it, I said, I said, I don't even like the record, Clive. He said, it's going on there, Angie. I said, I just hated that record. And I promise you, I have to close my every show with that record.
You have that is your. I mean, to this day, like let me help you out here. To this day, that song got over 100 million plays on Spotify.
I know.
50 million plays on YouTube. This song, and you got so many of them. Like I don't want to take away from all them hit records you got, but this song is quintessential.
I know they love that song.
Angie Stone.
And look, Kiss You, the single, I didn't like it. It done come in the charts at number 26. I'm just saying.
You didn't like Kiss You either?
No. Well, I thought it was, I don't know. Kiss you, kiss you, kiss. I was like, oh. And then I thought about, those one record songs are usually hits. I said, But my manager said, Angie Stone, you're doing this record. I said, okay. So I took a shot at the dark, and lo and behold, the same thing is happening with Wish I Didn't Miss You.
That would, and it's crazy to hear that you didn't like that, only because that sample came from the legendary OJ's Backstabbers. I would think just off the sample alone and the way that they, sped it up, that you would have been like, oh, this is moving right here.
Yes. Oh, I love the song now. I can't wait to get going with it, but it's just, I think I made that decision because I was ready to go. I had done worked on my whole album, and I wanted to be done. So to add another song meant more time in the studio, man. We got to wait for another release date. It was just a bit much. But
okay,
I'm grateful
let's talk
that
about
I
another
listened.
record, and I'm so sorry to cut you off
That's
there,
okay.
but I just thought of Brother. That's the same album.
Oh, yeah.
You
Now that song there, that's something serious. And
Yes,
that
it
is, I
is.
think I'm so proud of that because, like James Brown said loud, I'm black and I'm proud. Somebody had to take a step out on faith to say it's okay to be proud of yourself.
Yep.
hmm And I wanted my brothers to know I'm proud of y'all. You know, we don't get it right all the time, but who does?
No, as a African American male, hearing that record speaks
Yes.
to a different part of who we are because
Yes.
we are judged and tore down and
Yes.
made to feel secondary in this American society. So to hear a beautiful black woman like yourself
Thank
with
you.
those strong, beautiful vocals of yours singing, and it wasn't just the song itself, but it was the video, the way y'all put it
Oh,
together,
yeah.
and you had all of these Bob Marley, Muhammad Ali, Jim Brown, if I can remember correct. You mentioned James Brown. All of these, the imagery of these African American males that changed the world. I salute you to this day for making that record.
Thank you so much. I tell you, it's a funny story about that record. I called so many people trying to get them to actually physically be in the video. Everybody was just too busy. Called Samuel Jackson, called this one. He can't do it because don't you know, the minute the record came out, everybody I called, they started calling me. Angie Stone,
yeah?
I know you ain't do this record without me. I'm like, I tried to get you. It was so funny. So every time I see Samuel Jackson now, he shake his head. I can't believe I didn't make it on that record. I said, but everybody that I asked to do it, they were busy. So we asked for permission to use the pictures. And they said yes.
Well, it was beautiful.
Thank
It
you.
was beautiful, and you got your point across. I can tell you that much. More Than a Woman.
Oh,
That song, another one. And that one was nominated for a Grammy, correct?
yep. That's Calvin Richardson. And, whew, he's a on the low. He does his thing right. And, he wrote "There Goes My Baby" for Charlie Wilson. He is an excellent songwriter. But that More Than a Woman, oh
Yes.
my God, that's such a good feeling record. It don't make no sense.
I love that record.
Thank you.
I love that record. And hearing your voice, I could tell that was one of them that you love too.
Yes, Eddie F. and them. Yeah, they just Darren Lighty, Eddie F., Calvin Richards. That's just a heck of a team to write a hit like that.
You know something? You've been nominated for how many Grammys now? Is it three? 3 or 4?
Really, it was 3 or 4. I think I got nominated for a duet with me and Betty got nominated for Baby, and I think Shaka and Mary won the award for a song I had never heard. But prior to that, I got nominated for 3 solo awards.
And never won.
No.
Wow.
Never mind. It's okay though, because
It ain't over.
I feel like I've won already when they acknowledge me. So I'm just grateful that they acknowledge me. When I feel like they've acknowledged me, remember I told you, all that it go along with the whole thing. I'm gonna leave it there. So, but the fact that they're not acknowledging me, I've won already. The only thing that I regret is both. My mom died of COVID 2 years ago, and my dad died prior to that. That's the only thing that saddens me, is because being the only child, I worked very hard by myself, and I really wanted to have a Grammy or something to show my mom and them that I wasn't working in vain, and they never got to see that.
I don't think that they needed a Grammy. I don't think they needed a statue.
Oh, that's right.
To know to know their baby girl was not working in vain.
That's right.
With all the lives you touch, I'm sure they had more than enough people come to them,
Absolutely.
unbeknownst to you, and say, your girl is out here doing it.
Thank you so much.
So rest assured, they did not leave this earth without knowing.
I appreciate that. It made me feel good.
There was a Spin magazine article that was written, and I want to quote it back to you. And I hope I wonder if around that time it even made it across your desk.
Okay.
And let me get this right. Spin Magazine ranked you one of your songs 20 best singles of 2002. And the writer actually said, if Angie was skinny, Whitney Houston would be unnecessary and Mary J would be worried. Sad but true. Did you ever read that article?
No, but I heard, it was funny that you say that because back when I had all that weight on me, I was on prednisone, which is a steroid. I'd never been a big girl prior to that. But when I got on the medicine, it was right at the peak of my career, which was No More Rain came out. I looked bloated. I was on medication. I had also been asked to work with Mary J. Blige in a culture she had gotten discovered by Woodley over at Uptown. And of course, I help anybody. I didn't mind helping these people. But it's just the craziest thing is Oprah Winfrey did a big special on Neo Soul, and every artist was on there from Jill Scott to India Arie. I think Alicia was on there for Falling, and I was the only artist that was not on there. Well, you have to know that it devastated me when my manager at the time was Breon Prescott, and he turned around and told me, Angie, Clyde wouldn't let you go because of your weight. He didn't want you to be on there because he felt like you were too big. And I'm like, but don't they know that, that has nothing to do with someone's talent? I look at Lizzo, my head is off to her.
Yes,
my head is off to Adele. When I say people need to stop being judgmental, you have no clue what people are going through. And at that particular time, I was on medication. So people look at me now and say, oh, she done lost all the weight. I was always small. I just got rid of the medication and went back down to my size. But the fat jokes got in the way of a lot of success stories for me. And because of that, people have ripped me off with my songs. And I did a song the first song I ever did with D'Angelo was called Die. They named it Paradise on the internet. But we were gonna let Mary J. Blige do it at one time. And lo and behold, we cut it on her as a demo. We left all our vocals in and we said, nah, it's not coming out right. So we decided not to give it a song. Well, lo and behold, the thing ended up on the internet. Somebody stole the files out of the studio and released it as a duet with Mary J. Blige and D'Angelo, and my voice is all in it. And I sit back and say, how could you do that? But people figure when you have weight on you, they can do you any kind of way. So my thing is, bring it on. That has nothing to do with your talent. You are who you are. You have to make the most of what you want out of it. So yeah, I've heard about that interview. I didn't know, but my head is off to whoever said the comment that, if I was skinny, it would make a difference because it means that they saw my heart and they saw the world's heart.
Yeah.
Wow.
I
can't believe
so
that.
much has changed. Go ahead, I'm sorry.
I just can't believe that. I'm glad you brought that to my attention. You need to make sure I get a copy of that.
Well, I will do.
I need to frame that.
Yeah, and it's such a different world that we live in.
Yes.
2023 as opposed to years past. You mentioned artists like Adele and Lizzo.
Yes.
And I would like to believe, me working in the music industry for so many years and how there was this perception of beauty that wasn't realistic to everyday women that we just thought was beautiful.
Exactly.
Everybody is not stick thin. Everybody does not wake up with their face already put on. Women. So I'm so at least it feels as though the world, not just the industry, but the world itself is changing to be more inclusive.
Yes. That made me feel good when I saw Lizzo because it means people accept her for her.
For her talent.
Yes, her talent, the skin that she's in. You know, my son is a big boy, but people got to accept him for him and not try to make him be his mama or his daddy. He's his own man. And at the end of the day, he's talented. That's all that matters.
That's right. Okay, you riding high in the early 2000s.
Mm-hmm.
02, I believe it was 02 and 04. Mm-hmm. You starred in motion pictures. You starred in movies. You starred in a Rob Schneider movie,
right.
The Hot Chick.
Right.
And you also played alongside Cuban Gooding Jr. and Beyonce in The Fighting Temptations.
Right.
So you went back to your first love. Here it is, you riding high, you're dominating the charts. You got all of us feeling good playing your music. And you said, it's time for me to go back to my first love. How'd you get those parts?
Well, a lot of them I auditioned for, but I'll tell you my strategy. People say, well, you know, how do you stay relevant? When I'm in school, and I call Arista school, when I was in school and I saw all of the freshmen, the sophomores, and the juniors coming up, and the focus was on them, it was like, okay, the seniors, she done been here 4 years already, so she could wait. When I saw myself sitting on the bookshelf too long, I said, I can't let no grass grow up under my feet. So I'm getting ready to go out here and do some television work. I remained focused on winning. And what I did was I turned the lens over to the screen and made them focus back on me. I was not finna sit out there and go black like that. And that's what made me pursue my acting career because, I was doing everything. I had done Moesha. I had done Girlfriends. I did the theme song to Girlfriends. When they were doing their thing, I was doing something else. And that was how I learned to survive.
Yeah, but you know, that's a great lesson for any artist.
Yes.
What you just dropped is a gem.
Yes.
For any artist, you don't wait, you know, for your label. You don't wait. You got to keep yourself relevant because it really is out of sight, out of mind.
Yes, it really is.
And it's always somebody trying to take your spot. It's always going to be that new, fresh, you know, talent that steals the show. So you have to remain relevant.
Yes. I'm glad you said that because I was doing helping Alicia Keys, helping Fantasia, helping all these people stay motivated. Keisha Cole, they would call me auntie. Helping them. And then I watched myself becoming a school teacher. I said, I ain't mad at none of that. But guess what? Let me go find something that keeps the focus on me. I just finished a movie called Whole Phase. I'm excited about it. And like I said, there's so many other opportunities out there that we can nab at. You can write a book. It's so much you can do. I just think people get caught up with being in the spotlight. See, I ain't got to be in the spotlight. I could be in the corner. I'm getting a check over here. So
there you go.
My thing is, we don't have to be caught up being in the spotlight. Sometimes that's not the best place to be. You know, for me, I've learned how to diversify myself and move around.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
That's right. You know something? I want to go back for a second because I got this is a funny part of your story.
Okay.
Around your third album, you had a single, I Want to Thank You.
Mm-hmm.
And in the video, young Idris, was in your video.
I know what you're finna say.
Did you really turn down Idris Elba?
I did.
Hold on. We talking about sex symbol Idris Elba.
Yeah, Idris and I were like sister and brother. We both had the same manager. And, you know, the little crushing here and there. And I thought he was super, cute with his pearly white teeth, but he looks like my cousin James Thomas. He looked so much like James, I just couldn't see myself. He looked more like a family member. But he was smitten with me, I think, because I wasn't pushing up on him like that. I just couldn't do it. And so I had heard many stories where he had told people, I know he'd been looking for me, told people he was really digging me, and I won't give him the time of the day. But I wanted to keep my friend, and in order to do that, I knew I couldn't cross lines because I really valued the friendship. I had already had a high-profile relationship with D, and so I really didn't want another one. And I just didn't want to be hated by the world anymore. So I'm like, nah, I'm good.
You know, I was going to ask you that too.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you have been through such a high profile relationship.
Yes.
And we know how, because you and I touched on this earlier.
Yes.
So many of these careers, they're contrived by the powers that be. You know, I spoke to Montel Jordan, and he was telling me at the height of his career, his wife who was managing him, he couldn't admit that I was married because they needed him to be a sex symbol out there. Same thing with you and D. You know, they need you. This is a guy walking around with a 6-pack, and had every woman in America swooning over him. So I could imagine being in your shoes where you're just like, you know, Idris, he's a handsome fella, but not me, not again.
No. I'd rather just, I mean, all of my friends are good-looking guys. I mean, Laz Alonso was one of my best friends. What's his name? He's on, I don't went blank, but these were like besties. These are guys that people assume there has been something going on, and it's not been anything at all. I mean, they just look at me as a sister, and that's because I don't go there. I just don't go in that direction with them. And a lot of ladies think I'm crazy. Oh, you should do this. Mel Jackson. All these are friends, you know?
No, I understand. I understand totally. And you know, just listening to you talk, I know that I mean, it's obvious that you felt that you suffered a lot of pain from the industry.
Yeah, I just couldn't. I couldn't do that again. And I wouldn't. You can't foresee that stuff. When it happens, you have to grin and bear it, you know. Because of how beautiful he was, I became the ugly duckling. I became the overweight this, and my talent was viewed as zilch, and he don't need. I mean, and my thing is like, why I got to be all that? Like, for real though, you know what I mean? So I don't fall into the category of I accept what you say, but who wants to hear that level of negativity on a regular basis? No one wants to hear that.
You're absolutely right. And that's another thing people don't realize. Although you guys are in the public eye, you're human.
Yes.
You're human beings.
Yes.
And those words, those nasty things that people write for headlines and clickbait, it affects me because I'm still a woman. I'm still a human being.
My mom used to cry, and she'd say, I can't read that stuff. I said, Mom, put the magazine down. Don't pay that stuff. No, Mom, that would hurt me, that it hurt her so deep.
You know, that's something I didn't even think about because I'm talking about how it affects you as the individual.
Yes.
I didn't think about how it would hurt your mother or your father or your children or your immediate circle that love you.
Yes.
You're absolutely right.
It hurts them just as bad. It's just like it's being done to them because they know you on a whole nother level. So, you know, the last thing you want is a pity party. You don't want anybody feeling sorry for you. But people, you know, they genuinely hurt when you hurt. But I'm such a go-getter that I try to talk them off the ledge because guess what? Hey, it must be something to love me enough to hate me that you keep talking about me. Look, where am I? I'm on VladTV.
Switching topics here for a second. Well, maybe it's in the same vein. You did a little reality TV in your day. And I know you went on Celebrity Fit Club. What made you make the decision to go on reality TV, and why that one?
Honey, I was on that prednisone, I told you. I was so sick of the fat jokes. I decided that if I put myself on TV, then I'd have to face those demons. I couldn't go on there and not lose no weight. So it was a dare to myself. Angie, I dare you to go on there, because if I go on there, I got to lose the weight. And that was what I was. I went on there because I wanted to challenge myself to do what I needed to do on my own. And that's the only reason I went on there. And if you notice, first week I think I lost the most weight, but I got wore out because they went in a snake valley. And when I lost all my guts is when we went on the basketball court, I saw all these smashed dead snakes. And then we had to walk through this bushes. I said, I'm not walking through that. I was hyperventilating the whole time because it was over 100 degrees. And it was just snake beds. So they said, we're going to send snake rangers with you all. And so to me, I said, they too far over there. They need to be over here by me. I said, because if a snake come at me, they ain't going to get here in time to save me. Baby, I said, take me to the top. I cried. Cussed me out. I didn't care. I said, get me a car. I got to get out of here. I couldn't do it because I'm terrified of snakes.
Well, I mean, I don't know if you know this. Snakes or no snakes, it's documented. You're the second, and I don't know how to word this. In terms of losing weight on that particular show, you lost the second highest amount of weight in the history of that show. You aware of that?
I'm not.
Yes, it's you. Yes, you come in number 2. So you did your thing.
Okay. The snakes ran me off, though. They ran me clean out the building, okay?
Okay, somewhere in the middle of this, you get back in the studio. And you know what's crazy?
What's that?
Because you leave Clive Davis.
Mm-hmm. And I go get a hit record.
You signed to Stax Records.
Yes.
Why did you leave Clive Davis to begin with?
Okay, I left Clive because, once again, I was the teacher bringing in all the students. I think I was rubbed the wrong way when I found out I didn't make the Oprah show because of my weight. And then I'll tell you something that happened that I haven't told anybody, but you'll get the exclusive. D'Angelo had lost his deal with Virgin. And he called me, told me. I made a phone call, and I got Clive and Peter Edge to sign him to J Records because I could not bear the idea of the world finding out that he had gotten dropped. Okay? And they signed him. Lo and behold, I believe his manager at the time, not knowing it had come through me, basically made a deal. I'm thinking they made a deal that we'll come, but she has to leave. Oh. And so I kind of got a feeling my album budget got cut. I usually have $1 million album budget. They wanted me to make the record for $500,000. And at the time, I had Diary of a Soul Sister. It was what the album was going to be called. I had, Shaka Khan, Nat Nicole. I was getting some divas to sit with me, kind of, and kind of chop it up and do a classic album, something that had never been done. And when they cut the album, it just threw up a red flag to me. I'm like, how am I going to do this record now with everybody So I kind of started feeling weird. And at that point, I said, you know what? One or two things is about to happen. They're either going to drop me or I'm going to be stuck now because I don't know how I'm going to do this album. Well, the straw that broke the camel's back was shortly after that, they told me I had to change the name of my album because Alicia was doing Diary of Alicia Keys.
Mm.
And at that point, my chest sunk in. And I wrote Clive a letter and asked for a release. Because at that point, I felt like, okay, this ain't how it's supposed to be. So that's the real reason that I left, because Diary of a Soul Sister was in the works, and that came about. But I think there were two things working against me. And I think that, when I walked away, nobody really looked up. I just felt like I was kind of pushed out, if you know what I mean, because intuition is a mother.
Yep.
You feel me?
Yep.
So that's my truth.
Huh.
That's deep, ain't it?
Yeah, it's
I'm
very
just saying.
deep. I'm absorbing it, because I've never heard this before.
You wouldn't, because one thing about me, I haven't done a biopic because everybody that wants to do a biopic, my story is so deep that it will uncover layers and layers, and I'm talking about layers of truth. And I think people are really afraid because they know. And so I've almost abandoned the idea of doing a biopic. I really don't want to hurt anybody. I don't want to see anybody lose their cool. But I mean, I've helped managers, Kedar Master, but Erykah Badu, all of them, a lot of people think, oh, this one discovered this one, this one. No, Erykah will tell you, Angie is the one who helped get me through the doors with that whole, we had a show in Dallas with D'Angelo, and Kedar was there, and they came to me and said, what do you think about her? But, that's not to toot my horn, but they would never go back and say, Angie Stone had something to do with this. That's why I tell you, a lot of things were kind of swept under the rug. But Erykah has told the story because she knows the truth. I just, when I heard that people were saying they braided D'Angelo's hair. They didn't. I braided his hair with string. When those people, it was just so much that I could talk about. That.
Hold on. Let me make sure I got that right. You because D'Angelo is known for them cornrows.
Yeah, I braided his hair with string. He didn't have enough hair when he did the Brown Sugar cover. I created that look for him. And I'm not doing that to toot my own horn, but if I got to telling my story, there would be a lot to tell. But I'm not interested in telling a story that really would hurt anybody, but just to vindicate myself, because it's a lot of stuff that people don't know. Just like things I'm telling you today, you wouldn't never know what it is. Like, nobody would know that Paradise is my voice on the internet, that they're saying this is Mary J. Blige and D'Angelo. It's not. It's Angie and D'Angelo in the background, and Mary dubbing my lead vocal. And I'm like, you can't take a song. It's just, I've had my shares.
Yeah, you have
mess.
had a ride in this industry, girl.
But guess what? I'm still flying high.
There you go.
I'm still cool.
There you go. You still here. You're looking
Yes.
good. You're sounding good. Okay. The books wasn't closed on Angie Stone just yet. Just because you left J Records, you went on and you worked with another one of my favorite artists, Miss Betty Wright.
Oh,
Another one that
that's my
doesn't get
girl.
her just due.
no. And I'm gonna tell you something. She and I were like freaking frack. We're both Sagittarians. And so we talk alike, we think alike, we write alike, we move alike. Before she passed away, I went to her house in Florida and spent the week with her. And they told me that week was a week she smiled. They hadn't seen her laugh for a long time. We went out to eat, but we took pictures and we hung out. And I miss her. I miss her dearly because when things were crazy, the stuff I'm telling you now, she would walk me off the ledge. She would pray with me. She would cry with me. She would laugh with me. And she made it okay. So I could get past these
beyond
things.
the music.
Yeah.
This was your buddy. This
Yes.
was your friend.
Yeah, this was my girl. She was a friend. And I mean, up until she died, I mean, she was so worried about me that she called me. She said, "What's your bank account information?" I said, don't do that. She was insistent to make sure I had some money because she did not want to leave me if I needed something. She wanted to let me know that she would take care of me.
Oh man, that she was more than that. That was a sister right there.
Yes. I miss her. I can't tell you how much I miss her. Oh my goodness.
Well, y'all had the chance to collab in that baby record.
Yes.
Great record. That became your second #1 hit on the adult R&B charts.
I know.
And if I got my facts right, y'all got nominated for a Grammy.
We got nominated. I tell you, Mary J. Blige and Shaka beat us out with a song I hadn't heard before, and baby was all over the place.
Yep.
But I mean, Betty went. I was at the hotel. She was at the Grammys. And "Are you coming? Are you coming?" I said, "I'm coming." But I didn't go. I kind of knew. I said, "This is going to be another disappointment." So I stayed in the hotel. She wanted me to come though. She and I worked on Joss Stone. She pulled me in because she was doing Joss Stone. She put a whole band together, and then she brought me in to finish working on the project.
Mm-hmm.
Betty and I were tight.
Yeah, R.I.P. to
Yes,
one
sir.
of the greatest.
Yes.
Yeah, and she sounds like she was a great woman.
She was.
Off camera.
Yes, beautiful spirit, beautiful soul, God-fearing woman, minister. She's dope.
Okay, you done had some highs and you done had some lows.
Yes.
Where does R&B divas fit in the book of Angie Stone? Is that a high for you or is it a low for you?
It's a high and a low. The high is, yes, we have arrived. The low is we wasn't smart enough to stay on the scene. I hurt for some of the women because it was an opportunity to regain that lifestyle, to get back out there. They got confused because they got to going with who's better than who and what's what, and you missed the whole mark. And it hurt me to see that. But then when it started coming down on me, I'm like, let me get out of here because I don't really need this. I did it because I was asked to get in there and kind of simmer things down and get the girls correlating together so that they could focus on their music. But I think that everybody was so caught up with housewives that everybody wanted to be Nene Leakes, and that's what really hurt the franchise.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I know where I'm about to go is another low.
Okay.
It has to be. You have spoken about your children several times in this conversation. Let's talk about your oldest, your daughter.
My baby. My daughter.
Before I even ask you the question, what is it about mothers and daughters?
Well, mothers and daughters are pretty much, they're mirror images of each other. My daughter and I, and I'm going to be as transparent as I can be with this. My daughter is exactly like me in every way. It's just that I'm a little bit more humble than she is in certain situations. Diamond would chop your head off and spit it out. I have learned to humble myself and don't show my right hand what my left hand's doing.
Mm-hmm.
We found out some we started going to church and found out some spiritual stuff that needed to be dealt with. We needed to focus on God more. We needed to really lay the law down in terms of where we belong spiritually. And as a result, the healing has begun to take place. I can tell you we are closer now than we've ever been. Back then, I thought she was jealous. I thought she was angry at me for something. I could not put my finger on it. And to be honest, she couldn't tell me why she was angry. When she would always come up with the story that I went away and left her, but I didn't leave her. I took very good care of her. And my mother and father raised her more, so because I was 22, like I said, 23, and traveling with Sequence. So at the time, she was having a ball in school. It wasn't until her desire to be a singer came full frontal, and she thought it was almost virtually possible for me to just take her and put her in the spotlight. But I told her, you have to work for it. I will always be there to help you, just like I will help my son. But you've ultimately got to do the work. And I just think that was hard for her. She thought that, I can put her on. And it wasn't that simple. So the clash of the titans began. I never knocked my daughter's tooth out. My daughter had a bad tooth in the front of her mouth. And by the time we finished tussling, she had bit down her own tooth. But that was the perfect story to tell. And I think at the time, to have an excuse for why your tooth is missing. Just tell them your mama knocked it out.
I just thought you had some hands. I thought Angie Stone was good with the right and the left.
Don't get me wrong. Please don't get me wrong. I have hands. But I have to be mindful when I'm dealing with my daughter, because if I'm going to knock a tooth out, I'm going to knock them all out. So I'm not going to knock just one tooth out.
That's right.
Not me.
You spoke about doing the work.
Yes.
And I actually saw an episode a while ago, you and your daughter Diamond confronting it must have been so difficult for you to sit in front of her with the Bishop T.D. Jakes.
Yes.
And you both were speaking your truth.
Yes.
How difficult was it to actually listen to some of the things that she was saying, and for you to share your perspective on her?
It was difficult because I know she was talking out of anger and hate. So she wanted to hit below the belt. And I'm the type of person that if I was who I used to be, there wouldn't have been no contest. But because I was training myself and disciplining myself to maintain my level of respect and self-respect, that I'm not going to get on here and show out. I'm going to let her have her moment, say everything she wanted to say, because guess what? You're going to step in your own puddle if you keep running your mouth. And that's what happened. She kept talking, and before you know it, nobody was siding with her anymore, because you know what? It came off as you're just disrespectful.
My mother, here's the deal. First and foremost, you are a Black woman.
Yes.
I was raised by a single Black woman. And my mother had all boys. And I don't care how old or how tall, how big or how grown we thought we was. My mother I am your mother. And I don't care what you do in those streets. I don't care how tough and how people in the streets view you. But in this house,
yes,
you will respect me.
Mm-hmm.
And even as I was watching you on that particular episode, kind of reading in between the lines, you were saying just what every other Black mother, no matter how you feel,
right,
you will respect me as your mother.
That's it.
Because I've earned that respect.
Yes.
Did I get that right?
Absolutely. That's it. And when they get bad, when they get bad like that, where they want, talk all of that on the other side of the door. go out the door because you can't do it in here. And that's the issue. The issue is you can't stay in my house and talk to me any kind of way. You can't disrespect me in my space. So when you do that, I'm going to need for you to be on the other side of the door.
So I know y'all are in a really good place now.
Yes.
And she's a mother.
Yes.
You know, some things you can't understand until you live it.
Reciprocity.
There you go.
Reciprocity. Trust me. I sit back every day and I go, whew, yeah, I feel sorry for her sometimes. Because guess what? What go around, come around.
Do you think now that she gets it?
Oh,
she understands
100%.
exactly what you were saying?
100%. Yes. Totally.
I mean, because you can't, sometimes, no matter how hard you try, you just can't understand until you walk a mile in a man's shoes. And here she is with her own children, and I'm sure
yes,
she is demanding the same respect that you demanded for her. But now,
yes,
those words of "I'm your mother" make all the sense in the world to her.
Yes. Yeah, you hit the nail on the head. And guess who she calling on now? Mama. I said, ooh, Lord, you better be glad I got a good heart, and a forgiving spirit. Because I'm going to help you. I'm going to do what you couldn't do for me at the time. But the truth of the matter now is, like I told you, she's in a great place. She is now pretty much head of my company. She's working to take care of her and my son. I've pretty much put them in charge of taking over a lot of my stuff. So I'm very proud of them.
Beautiful.
They're brilliant-minded kids.
You know, we spoke about your daughter, and you just mentioned your son.
Yes.
Your son's in the building. Can I talk to him for a second? Do
Absolutely.
you mind?
Yeah.
Swayvo Twain is coming up as an artist in his own right, and he got two famous parents. I can't let you walk out this door without talking to him. Is that okay?
Oh, yeah, man. Do your thing.
Okay. We're about to introduce the world to the next big thing.
Yes, sir.
I mean, you add one part Angie Stone,
right,
one part D'Angelo, and you got my brother Swayvo Twain. Swayvo, what up, and welcome to VladTV.
What's going on, man? Thanks for having me. You know what I'm saying?
Nah, man.
It's a dream.
Your mother just gave a gem of an interview, and I know you in the building, so I'm like, come on, like we gotta get the young fella in front of this camera, man, and let him introduce himself to the world.
It's only right. It's only right.
Okay. You got two legendary parents.
Word.
Did the DNA, did the genetics, did the genes pass down? Like you should be able to blow.
I mean, everybody say I got two famous parents, man. I think they got a lit ass son. You know what I'm saying? Like nobody really talk about that, but yeah, man. I don't know. I'm really just kind of realizing like who they is. I never really cared about none of that. Like, you know, like. They just my folks to me, you know what I'm saying?
That's just mom and dad.
Yeah, it's real regular. You know what I'm saying? Like,
okay.
I be everywhere.
Your mother mentioned that you play instruments.
Yeah.
And what do you do? Do you sing? Do you rap?
I sing, I rap, I talk to bitches. I just do it. I do it all, man. But yeah, I play a little instrument, man, a little guitar, a little piano, you know. I ain't no savant or nothing, but you know I can do a little something.
Okay, you clearly got your parents' swag. It ain't no doubt about that.
Nah, man, I'm just a Carolina nigga, man. You know, sexiest fat nigga alive, man. You know, I came out the womb like this.
My brother, your pop's got a 6-pack.
He had one. I don't think he got one no more, man. Y'all, you know what I'm saying? Y'all folks, we gotta get you the updated picture or something. But, listen, you know the bitches just fucking with the stomachs now. You know what I mean? That's more the vibe. Like, you know, they be rubbing on my belly and shit. It's like, it's comfortable, you know.
Okay, so you telling me 6-pack or not, that ain't stopping you when it come to these women?
It never have, man. I played point guard in high school, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, it ain't never stopped me from doing nothing.
What high school was you at? Ain't nowhere in the world. Did you put on weight since high school?
I always been big, I'm telling you. Like, I always been big.
And you ran the point.
Yeah.
So you must be light on your feet.
Hey, man. I'm a big stepper, though. You know what I'm saying? I'm a big stepper.
Yo, you did a cover of one of your dad's famous songs.
Right.
Tell me about it.
Man, ever since I've been doing music, like everybody like, you need to do one of your dad's song, you need to do one of your dad's song, you need to do your mama's song. And I'm like, I always been like, man, hell no. Like, cause I've been doing music for a while. I never really wanted to just like, that was always corny to me. But, you know, I went in the studio and kind of just fucked around and did it one day. And, you know, my mom was with me and she started crying when she heard it. Like, she bust out in tears. And, you know, anybody who heard the song, it was just like, I seen their eyes light up like, whoa, this is it. So, you know, I kind of just took my time and put the plan together, you know, and put it out. And the minute I dropped it, like, they started eating it up. You know, they ate it up. And a couple days later, here we are on Vlad, you know?
Let me help you out. Your mama been doing this forever. Your daddy been doing it forever. I just gave you a layup. You said you was a point guard. You didn't even tell us what single it is. You ain't tell us the name of the cover. Right. Let me help you here.
For sure. Okay, so I remade my pop song off of Brown Sugar. Shit Down Motherfucker. I renamed it SDM. You know, we kind of took a real slow song, but it's a funky song, and just kind of put a new bounce on it, made it a club anthem. You know what I'm saying? And you know, I'm the only dude with a sample from that album. I don't think no other rapper ever had a sample for that album. So I'm winning with that regardless. But you know, and I killed it, and that's my pop. So you know, I posed the question like, who y'all think better, his or mine? You know, and of course I'm not trying to say, you know, my shit better than his or whatever. You know, I respect them, but a lot of people was in the comments like, nah, like Lil Bro, I'm fucking with Lil Bro shit, like his shit hard, like, you know. So it was just a cool little debate to see, you know, the older and the younger kind of clash heads, and you know, I think I made a moment out of that. It was cool.
Let me ask you a serious question.
Word.
You know, it can't be easy growing up to famous parents. I know you said to you, that's just mom and dad. But still in all, you know, stepping out, now you in their world. Like this is, and they're not just people who played in this world. They did the damn thing. Like your mama did it. Your daddy did it. What type of pressure is on you when you make that decision? Not only am I going to step into their arena, but I'm gonna actually go balls to the wall and I'm gonna do a cover of one of my dad's most famous songs.
I think other people make it pressure. Like, I think, to me, I know I got something special. I know I got a gift. You know, like when I go in the studio or when I go on stage and people hear me and see me perform, I see the look in their eyes. Like I see that look like, oh, this is different. And that's why I'm having fun at. So all the other shit, the media, what people gonna say and all that, that's other people pressure. That's like when Lil Bronny, when Bronny out there hooping, he know he faster than these niggas. He know he jump higher than these niggas. You know, but when he go on his phone, ESPN talking about, oh, your daddy would have did this, your daddy would have did that. But when he on that court, he ain't really worrying about that. And that's how I feel. Like, I can't really worry about that. I just gotta do what I do. This is what I'm born to do, you know?
Yeah, that's actually an unexpected but dope answer. I love what you said about Bronny. You brought it home with that. It's a dope answer, kid. Yo, I don't know if I got this right, but are you going overseas, opening up for your mom?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So I actually just opened up for my mom's at Sony Hall 2 nights back to back, and the people loved it. Like the people really loved it. Like it was kind of different for me. Like I stepped outside to smoke some weed, just on some regular shit. And like 5 minutes, everybody just circled around me, mobbed me, taking pictures and shit. Like I'm like, oh, like this shit kind of different now. But yeah, man, my mom do, she like, son, I'll take you on tour with me, show you how we do this shit, you know. But she don't even know I'm finna bring a whole nother vibe, energy to this shit. Like, we finna be
Talk
turned.
that talk, boy.
Yeah, we finna be turned. Like, y'all definitely gotta tap in, come see this shit.
Nah, you know what? You know what? I'm gonna put you on the spot a little later in this interview.
Yeah.
Because you going out on tour with, I know she mom to you, but you going out on tour with Angie Stone. And as far as I'm concerned, you ain't earned it yet. You gonna earn it today though. Like
For sure. For sure that.
Nepotism is real, and I ain't mad at it. Like you got famous parents, take advantage of it. But I want to see if you the real deal.
Yes, sir. Say no more.
And you also talked about pressure. So I'm gonna put you under a little pressure.
Let's do it.
You on VladTV.
Right.
You got millions of people who gonna see this.
What's up?
You talked about you was born to do it. Prove it.
You want me to freestyle right now?
Right now.
Give me a topic. What you want to rap about? Anything?
Whatever you feel, and it ain't got to be a freestyle. It could be written. Show us what you know that you want us to know.
I say, no college but hit knowledge like I got my PhD from Providence, 5%er, owner not a renter of this rap game. Swayvo Cobain spitting the crack flame. See me in the streets and give me that, man. They ain't never seen a nigga kick it how I kick it. They ain't never seen a nigga spit it how I spit it. They ain't seen a nigga with them shits like I'm with it. Murder every track, and I always get it, quit it, cause I write it in braille so you nigga can feel it, but this is dope shit. You can't get it unless you got a prescription like a amoxicillin. Yeah, I'm running up that scope, nigga. I ain't kneeling, cause the devil don't sleep, and neither the discreet. That's why I'm stacking up this money longer than Shaq feet, nigga, long as I can see. What is a compete? I'm not even at my peak, nigga. Young OG. On VladTV.
Dope. Okay, youngin'. Good job.
Thank you, sir.
And you know what I like about you too? I mean, you got the swag, but you got an original voice too. So when you rhyming, everybody gonna know that's Swayvo Twain right there.
Thank you, sir.
Good job.
Thank you, sir.
All right, kid, we rooting for you. I want to see you at the top.
Thank you, man. That means a lot, man. That means a lot, man. Respect.
Where can people follow you?
Man, you can follow me on everything at one Swayvo Twain. On TikTok, it's just Swayvo Twain, but everything else is the number one, Swayvo Twain. I got a lot of shit coming, man. By the time this come out, I got some new shit coming. So y'all just tap in, man. You know what I'm saying? Sexiest fat nigga alive.
Okay, can we do this properly? Let's welcome the queen back into the building. Angie, welcome back.
Thank you.
I just had the pleasure of chatting with your little offspring over here.
Swayvo.
And I'm gonna tell you something. The apple don't fall far from the tree. That boy got talent.
Oh, yeah. Thank you. Thank you.
That boy got talent. But I'm talking to mommy Angie right now.
Okay.
Because you might have to put you said earlier I got hands. You might have to put him over your knee or something, or catch you with a left hook.
That's right.
He was like, Shawn, I want to do this thing on my own. I don't want to put it out there who my parents are. Like, people know me for me. And I'm like, boy, if you don't shut your rabbit ass mouth and use the pieces that God gave to you,
Yes.
you think, do you think Christian Combs, King Combs, do you think Jayden or Willow Smith is sitting around talking about, I don't want y'all to know who my famous parents are? Here's the deal. Like, let me talk to you, young man.
Yeah.
You could bring a horse to water, but you can't make him drink. And what I mean by that is, your mama and your daddy can get you to look.
Right.
But if you ain't got the talent,
Right.
talent, that's something you got to do on your own. The fans are going to accept you for you despite who your parents are. So, Angie,
Yes.
would you please remind this boy to leave his ego at the door and use the pieces that God that gave him?
Listen, I'm so glad it's coming from you and not from me. So many times we have been, heralded as the ones that's pushing him to do this. I have purposely stayed out of his way. I told you earlier, his dad is very, he's in his own space, but you can't help who you are. I originally wanted him to call his project DNA, and that goes for D
There you go.
and A. So that can go, because we write everything metaphorically. It can mean D and Angie, or it can mean my bloodline. So the reality is you can't choose your parents, and you can't help who you are. But if your birthright is that of a pedigree, I'm going to need you to walk in your pedigree. Voila! Did I get that?
Damn, you got that. Woo!
He can't help who he is. I want you to know that because you are two generations behind us, you already have your own identity, okay? It's not enough that people are going to try to compare you to your parents, but I'm going to need for you to supersede me and your daddy. I'm going to need for you to do better. Because if I thought this was the best it could get, then I failed you already. So I'm going to need for you to do better. I'm going to need your sister to do better. I'm going to need y'all to get out of here and say, okay, look, this is what y'all did, but this is what I'm doing.
That's how I've been attacking this anyway. That's my mentality anyway. So, like I hear him say, like, put your ego up, put your ego to the side, but that's my ball, that's my cojones, that's
but don't be so prideful.
Say the things I say anyway.
Don't be so prideful that you can't mention your mama and your daddy, because guess what? We're proud of you. I'm telling you right now, when you blow up, I would say, that's my son. Hey, watch it. That's my...
Right. No, that's love. Y'all know they gonna mention y'all every time. They gonna mention you. Before they say my name, they gonna say y'all. Y'all know that.
Not all the time. If you supersede us, they be like, oh no, he doper than Angie. He doper than his daddy.
In due time.
Okay?
In due time.
Oh, don't get cocky now.
Oh, okay, Mr. Overweight Lover.
Okay.
We gonna end this on a positive note. Reach on over there and do what all of us want to do and give your mama a big hug and a kiss.
Mwah. My baby.
We love y'all. We love y'all. We love y'all. Swayvo, Swayvo Twain. Let me get it right.
Yes, sir.
Swayvo Twain. We wishing you all the best.
Thank you, sir.
And Angie.
Yo.
I know he told me he's going out on tour with you.
Yeah.
So I'm happy y'all spending that quality time, not just as mother and son, but you get to watch your son come into his own.
Absolutely.
I pray y'all have a safe tour. And I pray it really sparks the birth of the next big thing.
Oh, wow. I love it. Thank you so much, Shawn. This is VladTV. You guys have been realer than real. I'm so happy that we got to tell our truth today. All right? We got to do this again, yo.
We definitely will. We definitely will.
Okay.
Much love, blessings, and continued success to both of y'all.
All right, honey. Have a blessed one. Thanks.
See y'all later.
All right.